Hi, it's Lynne with Soft Squares. Welcome back to the opening of the Soft Squares Advent boxes. We are on day 3 for the box, for the B box. A will start opening on day 14 when we wrap up both series, both numbers. Anyway, this is a big one. It's a big one. It's not super heavy, but it's a big one. And I cannot wait to show you what's in here. It's a lot. You're actually getting this tidy organize. This is a photo and craft keeper. I use these all the time for everything. I don't use them so much for projects, although you certainly can. I use it because of all the little containers that are inside. Now there is a project in this container, as well as the container itself. So you're going to be getting more of these. This comes with 8 in this already, and there's 8 more that you'll be getting throughout the month and that you will fill in, so you'll have a total of 16 of these little boxes in this container when you're done. Now, one of the 8 that you are getting today, the very front one, has stuff in it. It's all related to the project that is on the other side of this. So before we do anything else, let's read what the paper has to say, and then I'm going to dive into it. I'm also going to show you how to make it. So Advent Box B, Day 5. First, let's talk about the container. It is part of the Advent box and the main container to a set you will unveil while opening your other items. You will end up with 1 large and 12 small ones. Now, I didn't say that a minute ago, didn't I? I said you were going to get 16, because guess what? I could not remember how big these containers were when I typed up these papers. So you're getting 16 containers, not 12. So ignore the number, but you're getting more. The reason for the container set is to help you organize your sewing and crafting ideas. They were designed for photos, but I use mine to hold small, loose items like notions, buttons, pins, washi tape, hand needles, and so much more. Hold on to all the plastic containers, and the small ones will nest inside this large one. And I want to show you some of the ways I use my little containers in my room. I have different ways of keeping track of things. So I just use them for all kinds of things. This is my hardware for purses, my hand needles, a bunch of cute little novelty buttons, safety pins. So they're great. And because they're flat, I can put them in my storage units or containers, and I don't even have to keep it in this box, but this box sure is handy. All right, now that's just talking about the top part on here, which is the container. Now, what's in the box? It's your first project. Do you ever sit back and look at something you're working on and think to yourself, that sure looks wonky? Well, guess what? This project is supposed to look that way. This is what you're going to make. It's called Wonky Houses. It is a wall hanging. The instructions were not written in the best way, but the project is so cute. I had to have it go in the box. I will include some easier to understand instructions, but I'm giving you the original ones too. You have many options for this project. It is written as a wall hanger. However, you can turn it into a table runner or enlarge it to be part of a bigger quilt. I'm giving you optional add-on decor items that will only be good if you create it as a wall hanging. If you intend to wash or handle it, the pattern has great embellishment ideas to use instead. I would love to see how you create your wonky town, so please show your project on my Facebook group page. So this was written in the UK, and when I first started to read the instructions, I struggled. It's also could just be my brain. So what I did is I made the project, and then I wrote some notes to help you along the way. Plus, I'm going to show you here. But you're going to get tutorial pictures walking you through it. Okay, you're also going to get stencils or templates that you can use if you want to do hand stitching. And I'll show this a little closer, but this is what it's talking about, where if you plan on washing or being on a flat surface, you might want this versus the embellishment items. I'm going to show you in a minute. This right here is my notes on how I put it together. You're also going to get these templates for these. These are the rooftops and the trees. These are your white fabrics. And these are your houses. There's 3 sizes, and it tells you how many of each to cut. So let's jump right in and make this. This is so cute. This is so cute. But, well, actually, I lied. We're going to show you the rest of the pieces in here. you're going to get this cute little pin holder. You're going to need to pin things, so why not give you some pins, right? So it looks like a spool of thread, comes in different colors, and it has pins, and it's magnetic inside, so it's a pin holder with these long pins. So you're going to get a little set of pins. This one's magnetic spool pin holder. Oh my goodness, Lynn. Okay, so put this back. This is actually somebody's box, so I want to make it look as pretty as I can. You are going to get blue fabric. Now it could be there's a lot of different blues that were used, so it could be anything, but it's a dark blue. You're going to get, this is the only one I think that has this big of a pattern, but you're going to get a large piece of blue fabric. You're going to get all of these little pieces right here. And all these small pieces. So, and white. Okay. You're going to have a tree trunk. Actually, let's look at this a little closer so you can kind of see it as I'm pulling it up. So here's the tree trunk I just pulled out. It goes to this little tree right here. These are the houses. So there's two sets. And they each have a white roof, and then the tree is white. And then there's hand embellishments that do these stars. And there's some little trees in the background down here. And that's what those stencils are for. I have some other ways to do that if you want it to truly be on the wall. Okay, so anyway, here's your trunk. I've given you 4 different colors of white fabric for your roofs, so that each roof in its set, because there's 2 sets, will have a different color roof. You're going to get this sparkly, shiny silver fabric that you can use for the tree, or you can mix it up and switch it out with one of your roofs, but I think this would be adorable on the tree. Can you see how reflective that is? So that's what my thought was on that. You're going to get 4 pieces of different reds. There's that one and this one. You are going to be cutting out houses, wonky houses out of these. Okay, so there's all of those. You are also going to get a width of fabric, red. This is actually going to be your binding fabric. However, you can choose to cut it up and use it throughout your project and just do something different on the binding. So if you want to do that, you don't have to make it your binding, but that's what the bigger piece is for. So then you have this white, this is 10 inches by width of fabric. Okay, and then this one right here is 20 inches by width of fabric. Now, I tried to give you a little bit extra so that you can cut it straight and make it be exactly what you want it to be without having to be stuck with my cut lines. So, roughly twice as much white as you do the blue. And then you have the red for the binding, and then the others are for making the little trees that go on it. Now, or the little houses that go on it. Now, I'm giving you this. It's a little plastic tree that you can cut up and put it on your hill if you want this to be a truly just a wall hanging, not anything that will be used as on a table or a bed. So you can use this if you want, or you can hand stitch the little trees that were in the background, but this was just kind of a fun way to give you like a whimsical tree. You're also going to get batting that is the size of the project. And honestly, I don't remember what that size was. It is 46 is the width by 41. So when you're done, your project's going to be like this big. See why it's a wall hanging? Okay. Again, I've tried to go bigger on all of these so you can trim them down to the size that you need. There's more. You're also going to be getting shape flex interfacing. This is going to help you when you're doing the applique, because your wonky houses and the rooftop are applique and machine applique, but it can be raw edge. You can simply cut it out. You're not going to need this much for the project. You just got a whole bag. In fact, there's another project coming up that you might want to use part of this on. So just so you know, this will come in handy for lots of things, including potentially one other project. Anyway, this is just going to help give it some body and make it so that you can put that on there. So let me see where to start with all these instructions, right? This is a little more time consuming of a project. I'm so excited about it though. I think it is so cute, but like I said, I struggled with the instructions when I first started reading it because it's written in metric and my brain just could not wrap around what the real sizes were, and it's actually by width of fabric, in case you guys get stuck in that same predicament. So I've basically cut your fabric the size that you need, other than trimming it down a little bit, okay? There we go with that. Oh, we haven't gone through everything yet. We still have this little box, which is the very front box, and it has stuff in it. Now these are more things to embellish your project with if it's a wall hanging. These are things I have added to it. So you're getting fairy lights, little tiny little fairy lights. You just pull the little stringer and then your light will work. Okay, you have fairy lights. You're getting glue, so you can glue your tree down. You're also getting some little batting squares if you decide you want to make your tree puffy. That's what that is about. Then you have a little case of snowflakes. These are like felt snowflakes, and these are the main thing you're going to need the glue for. So there's 3 different sizes in there, and you're going to put your snowflakes so you can see it coming down in the night sky, and on the container itself has a little snowflake, so you can reuse it however you want, and you can peel it off or leave that snowflake on there. But these are the items just for embellishing. These are the embellishing items that I'm adding to your kit. Okay, so let's look on here. Now in here it actually says on December 5th I will be releasing a video to show you how I put it together. It's actually part of this video, okay? The following are notes that Lynn made to make this easier. I'm not going to read the notes out loud because I want you to have the pattern, okay? But I'm going to show you how to put this together in the most simplest way. And some of you might not have problems like I did. Like I said, I struggled just comprehending some of the things she was telling us. And this gal's really cute. She's in England, and she puts this wall hanging up on her wall every year, and her grandkids love it. So she made a pattern for it. All right, so the fabrics I'm using for my sample are different than what you guys got in yours, because I was trying to put this together not using up the fabric I wanted to use for you guys. So you might see some things that are similar and some things that are different, but that's why. Now I made this and I've put it aside and it's been folded, but this is just generally what we're looking at making, okay? And I don't have any embellishments on there, so I'm going to show you how I got to this point and then different ways to embellish. But isn't that cute? But you're going to take your houses and you're going to lay them, you're going to sew them like a Dresden, so they're going to be on an angle like this, okay? This is glue. Don't get glue on your thing. That's what happened here. Okay, so you're going to make your Dresden plates, okay, your 4 Dresdens. Here are my houses. They all have different roofs, and the roofs don't count at this point. You're just taking the red buildings, you're going to sew them together and then press them open. Okay, so there is a seam in here and I've pressed it open, and then you're going to lay them on the blue. Right now at this point you don't have any white up here, it's just the blue. So it's going to look just like this. Okay, you're going to put your houses up here, and you're just going to kind of place them where you think this mound will go. Because just keep in mind, you want it to look like this when you're done. So you're going to have this, you're going to come from the bottom, just kind of think, you know, obviously this is not the right height, but like where do you want to put that mound? Okay, you're going to put those on there. You're going to use your steam-a-seam, and you're going to press it down. It's going to make life so much easier, I promise. But then you're going to do a little straight stitch under here, and actually the curve of my mound is the curve of the opening of, or the bottoms of this, and you will see that when you put together they're not going to be flat, and that's what we want. Same goes for this one. Okay, you're going to take a pencil After you pin these down, so you're not going to iron or do anything to it. Okay, you're going to pin it down. You're going to take a pencil and you're going to draw a line, just kind of freehand, make your little, keeping in mind where your houses are. And on the back side, you can kind of see this is where my houses were. I mean, that's it. Then you're going to add your fabric, and I have two ways of doing it. This one, I just took the white fabric, folded it in half, sewed my curves once I knew what the curve was, and then folded it up so that the fold was at the bottom, and I did this through the raw edge. And I actually like how that looks better than this, because this, I'm seeing through it, and I don't like that. I don't know if you can see that. So you may want to play with it. My instructions actually tell you how to do that one. Okay, I obviously was playing with this quite a bit. So here's another one where when I did the curve, I did double it, and then I cut away the blue that was in here. This one, the blue is staying in there. It's just folded up and over. Here, the blue, it doesn't matter because the white's doubled and you don't see that at all. This one, I've cut away the blue. I should make it so you can see all of this all at once. And you can see I was just freehanding my pen, trying to see how I wanted to do that. So this is how the instructions, I interpreted the instructions to be. I didn't love that. So this is where you can do it that way, or you can change it up. I didn't like seeing through that and seeing the white line from when I turned my edge. So there's these two right here. So what's going to happen is you're going to have, you're going to sew your edge, then you're going to pull it up, because this, how do I do this? Yeah, I can do that. This is what I should be showing you guys. I'm a little slow to this game. Okay, so you're going to, who needs a seam ripper? Okay, so I don't know if you can see what's going on here, but when I put this up here, I drew freehand where I wanted my line to go. And then when I put my fabric up, this is where you're going to use your pins. Put my fabric up, you're going to freehand draw that, and making sure that everything that you've attached up here goes under the mound. But this is the part that I don't like. So this one right here, the difference between this one and this one is here I just folded the white over. I like this lots better. It was actually easier. Use the raw edge for sewing this, and I turned it over, and then I had this, and then I still had to bring it up and attach it, but I have a true white on that. Okay, let's, now I've kind of made it so you can't see anything, huh? Well, of course I did. So you have to put your houses on and then do your stitching around the house. This one I went ahead and did my straight stitch between the houses, and this one I didn't because I haven't decided which way I like the best. So your tree trunk goes here. You don't have to worry about the tree topper at this point or the roofs, but you can after your houses are in, then you put this on. Now this one does not have the cotton squares, but the little batting squares, you can put them under here to make it puffy. Your roofs will be flat just like your houses. This is just applique on. This can have a stitch on it. I have not gotten that far. In fact, I might not do it because I plan on leaving it on the wall. But you can, it's just raw edge where the house itself has been turned under and it is not a raw edge. But this is. So this is where your pellon comes in. Same goes with this. Now all the little embellishment guys, the house, the doors and the windows, you're going to figure out what you want to do for that and put them on here. You could even leave it plain like it is, but don't sew your mounds up until you get your doors on. It's going to make life harder. But see, again, why I don't like this, I don't like seeing through the snow. I like this whiter white, which is what I got with that one. Let's see, so pin this side up. So after you've got your houses on and your tree trunk and your houses and you've embellished them, if you decide to do that, you are going to sew your mountain on. So let's look at this up close. Okay. What's left is, oh, another reason why I think the batting would be good is it won't be so transparent. That's just my thing. Okay, oh, so this, I didn't show you what's going on here. When you fold it up, you're going to have all this extra, and they suggest you just tuck it back up, and then when you do your stitch across this, you're going to be catching this. It seems like a lot of wasted fabric, and that it could be longer if you don't do it that way. So this one right here is all white, where I was able to push the blue taller, so I could put it sitting a little taller like this. So I've given you 22 inches or like 21 inches of fabric, which actually is from this to this, so it actually makes it so you can go this big. And that's because I'm assuming you may want to do it this way, where you put in the white under the blue instead of incorporating it up here with the blue. And if someone can come up with an easier explanation than what I'm doing, I would love for you to post it. So anyway, there's that. Now the embellishment stuff, I am not actually going to do that on this sample today, but I am going to show you how you can do it. Remember our little tree? On our sample, there were little trees that were coming up from behind the hill. So this is where you can just cut a little piece off, set your little trees in. You have quite a bit to work with here, and you can even do over here. I think I put my house is a little too close because there's a lot of extra room over here. Now that I know that, again, this was me just trying to figure out the instructions, and I learned a little bit, so hopefully I'm teaching you or helping you to learn. Anyway, it looks good, but I would have liked them spaced out a little more, so have more room in here. But I could put the tree over here. Okay, so that's what my little tree is for. The snowflakes, my instructions on what to do with the lights and the snowflakes are in my little notes. But these are just, they're not going to stay, but these are where you're going to glue these on. Okay, and I've given you a ton of snowflakes, and these are the smaller size, so you can choose to do it however you want. Okay, but look how cute that is. It's coming together, and you put your little tree in there. And then when you're all done, you're going to do something similar to this around the outside to give it the wonky edges, like what she did. If you really like it square or squared up, you can do that. But that's the goal, is to make it a little wonky all the way around. And that's how simple that is. You do not have to top stitch any of this stuff. Like right now, my whites are not top stitched at all. This one you're going to want to top stitch when you put your mound up. She actually went a step further and used her little decorative stitches, like let it snow, let it snow. She had it just repeating, and so you can see the little words going along. That there's so many things you can do. You can use embellishment stitches, your blanket stitch. You can actually have fun and do your stitches on top of all of this. I haven't decided yet, but I kind of like it how it is. Kind of like that. But again, you have a lot of snowflakes to play with. Now the lights, the instructions that I gave you for the lights are actually different than I was thinking. This is the glue, sorry. These are the lights. These are fairy lights, so they are teeny tiny, they're flat. They don't have the bulbs that stick up. In fact, my shirt has lights in it. Oh, there we go. And it wasn't working a minute ago. Now it might be working. But these are little lights coming on, blinking on my shirt. I was thinking that the fairy lights, when I ordered them, were going to be like this. It has an actual bulb that sticks out. So I told you in my notes to poke a hole through the batting. So put the batting on the back side and poke a hole to poke these through. You're not going to do that at all. In fact, what you're going to do, I'm going to show you with this one. So you got quite a bit to work with here. So what you're gonna do, I'm gonna turn this on. You guys should have the white. Well, I don't think you have to have, yeah, you got different options with there. So what you're gonna do is you're just gonna put it behind that. And that's all you need. Okay, so your stringers are gonna go all through there, and this is the night sky. And so you have your little stars, and obviously my stringer is still all hooked together into one little clump. But when you open it up, you don't need to poke the holes like I was telling you to do. You do need to make a pocket for something for your little, for this. And I would suggest putting it over here. Maybe even tucking it in here. I don't know. Again, keep in mind your binding will go on there. So this is what I suggest to do. Do not poke holes on here like my instructions say, because these lights look perfect coming from behind. Okay, and then just don't forget to turn it off so that your battery lasts and you can keep using the product over and over and over. I want you to look up close and see what I did with this. So when it was open, I drew my pencil line, I laid it on there, I sewed it down, and then after I trimmed it away, the blue, I pulled the white by doubling it up to the back. And at this point, I don't care that it's longer because you don't really see it. You might want to remove it, you don't have to, but this is how I like my mound. I like this way much better. This is a great one too. Again, the fabric's just folded and laid on top. What I didn't like about it is this is wasted blue. So, okay, so sorry it's a little chaotic. I can't wait to finish mine. I'm obviously doing this video before this actual date, and I haven't had my shoulder surgery yet, and because I'm having that, I probably am not going to get a chance to really soon. I'm not going to finish this calendar year. So I would love to see what you guys do and how yours comes out. Keep in mind, this is glue. Don't get glue on your blue. It doesn't look as pretty. Anyway, that's it for today. I'll see you tomorrow.